Hey Scorpio, welcome to your weekly forecast for February 28th through March 6th. This is for Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might stumble upon this video after the time frame I mentioned. That's just fine. You're going to find it whenever you were meant to find it, whenever it was time for you to hear the messages in it. Now keep in mind, these are general readings for the collective. Not every single message will resonate, but take what does and leave what doesn't. So without further ado, my dear Scorpio friends, let's see what's coming up for Scorpio. One more shuffle here. All right, one more. I don't have a set number of times that I shuffle. I just shuffle till the cards feel right, and they didn't feel right until just now. So let's see. First card coming up for Scorpio. Queen of Wands. If you have a fire sign placement, you might be focused on those areas of your life right now. That might be the energy that you're stepping into. Some of you could be dealing with a fire sign person, Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. However, those of you who watch my videos, you know that in the weekly forecast, I want to focus on you and I want to talk about you. So chances are a lot of you are connecting with this Queen of Wands energy, this fiery, feisty energy. Now, for me in my readings, Queen of Wands usually comes up when your eyes are starting to open and you're starting to realize the benefit and the value that you're bringing to the people around you. Like you start to realize how much people benefit from having you around. You start to realize just how much money you make for your bosses or the companies that you work for. You start to realize your gifts and your talents and what you bring to the table. And then you start to realize that you're not getting compensated nearly enough for what you're bringing and what you're delivering. You start to realize that you're not receiving support or appreciation and you're tired of it, right? Queen of Wands for me might try to speak up and might try to ask that the system or the work be done in a way that's not as difficult for them, like in a way to like make the job easier or make it more efficient. And nobody wants to make those changes. They just want the Queen of Wands to just deal with it. It doesn't matter if it's stressful. It doesn't matter if it's inefficient. It doesn't matter if it's wasting time. This is the way we do it, so just keep doing it that way. If Queen of Wands speaks up and she needs a raise or less work, Queen of Wands might be met with some condescending response like, oh gosh, I wish I could, but I can't. We can't afford to give you a raise right now. Or we can't give you less work because nobody works as good as you. You're the best. Oh my gosh, Queen of Wands or Scorpio. Oh my gosh, Scorpio. I don't know what I would do without you. Please don't ever leave. This place would fall apart without you. So instead of giving you what you need, they give you flattery. They give you flattery. They give you compliments. They stroke your ego. But you can't pay your rent with flattery. You can't pay your bills with compliments and a stroked ego, right? They're not giving you anything tangible. They're not giving you anything real. So the Queen of Wands gets tired of this and she says, this is some nonsense. And she's like, I'm not doing this anymore. And she gets really angry. So Queen of Wands for me is like, you're going to be getting in touch with your anger. Your anger is going to be coming to the surface. And good luck for those of you who have a Libra placement, because I feel like this also came up for Libra. So some of you are going to be really connecting with anger in a big way in the coming weeks, Scorpio. I just remembered that. Oh, gosh. Gosh. Sorry. So this anger is going to be coming to the surface. This anger is meant to help you make big changes and big improvements in a short period of time. You'll be tempted to push down the anger or ignore it, but don't. And don't label it as negative. It's not negative. It's not toxic. It only becomes negative or toxic if we're doing something toxic with our anger. But if we're using the anger to propel us forward, to motivate us, to drive us in what we're creating, and we use it to create a better life, then it's a beautiful and powerful tool. It's not toxic. It's not negative, right? Emotions in themselves are not toxic or negative. They only become toxic or negative based on how we release them or what we do with them. And anger can be a powerful tool, just like fire, right? And so this is a time in which you're going to be creating big changes in a short period of time here with this Queen of Wands energy. Queen of Wands could also be very entrepreneurial energy. And so some of you are deciding that you want to work for yourself, or you want to get more serious about taking your gifts and your talents and using them to line your own pockets for a change instead of lining somebody else's pockets. If you are already self-employed, the Queen of Wands is telling us you may see some things in your industry that are upsetting you, that are making you angry. And you're like, this is some BS. This is wrong. This is messed up. And so you might be making a decision to step up and to expand your business to meet a need, because maybe you're looking around and you're like, these people are being taken advantage of. This is nonsense. I'm going to have to step it up and do it the right way. I'm going to have to step it up and show people how it's supposed to be done and not take advantage of people and actually give them something that's going to be helping them. So some of you in a self-employment might be expanding or deciding to offer a new service because you feel there's a need for it and you're wanting to help people because you're seeing an injustice or some kind of a con, and it's making you angry to see that happening. And you're like, well, I'm going to create change, and I'm going to give the people something actually helpful, something actually useful. So that could be the case for those of you who are already self-employed. The next message that's coming up here is the Empress. Now, the Empress is a major arcana card. So even though I'm reading for a period of 7 days, major arcana cards come up when we're coming into a significant new chapter in our life. It's a defining moment. It's a new chapter. So this chapter is going to last longer than 7 days. This major arcana card energy is going to be around for quite some time, even though I'm setting the intention for a 7-day period of time. But something is happening in the week ahead where you're beginning this Empress chapter of your life. Now, Empress has both Taurus and Libra associations. And it's funny because I brought up Libra. I said if any of you have a Libra placement, there's going to be big changes and big shifts for you in those areas of your life. You might have anger coming up, double whammy here, Scorpio, Libra combination. And now I have the Empress card here. So this is telling me that yes, there's going to be anger, specifically around where your Libra placement might be. In those houses, right? But you might have big changes or shifts happening for you if you have Taurus or Libra placements. Let me know how many of you in the comments have Taurus, Libra, and Scorpio placements. Okay? I'm Scorpio Sun, Taurus Moon, Libra Rising. So me, myself, I'm a little bit like, oh, I might have to really kind of check my anger this week. Let me know if any of you have similar placements. But if you have Taurus or Libra placements, there could be big changes and shifts happening for you in those areas of your life. This is going to be a defining time for Scorpio. I feel that here in these cards. Even if you don't have Taurus or Libra placements, Empress here is a time of creativity. It's a time of creation. Some of you could be manifesting, babies and children, or, having some progress made around adopting a child or something. The Empress does have very maternal, very child rearing energy about her, and that might be something some of you are manifesting or working towards. For other ones of you, the Empress can be creation in terms of what you're wanting to do in the world as a healer, what you're wanting to do in the world as somebody who is helping others or leaving a mark. I keep hearing prolific, prolific, prolific. So some of you Scorpios are coming up with ideas that are going to really flourish and give way to other ideas and blossom and branch out into other things. So I feel some Scorpios are on the verge of like a series of inventions or a series of ideas or a series of services or a series of books or songs or art pieces that they're going to be putting out that are going to be impactful and helpful to a lot of people. Because I keep hearing prolific, prolific, prolific. So you're going to come into a time of massive creativity and massive productivity. And what you're creating is something that is healing, nurturing, soothing, nourishing to others here with this Empress energy. Empress energy is also being respected. It's a high level of accomplishment, a high level of success. I also feel that a lot of Scorpios are going to be really working closely with Archangel Gabriel in the coming days and weeks, where there's going to be a lot of messages that you're going to be receiving, Scorpio. And Gabriel is giving me the feeling or the sense that some of these messages are going to absolutely positively terrify you. Not because it's bringing in bad news or scary, traumatizing information, but because you're not going to want to do what you're being led to do because the assignment feels so big. It's not necessarily like you're being asked to do something dangerous. It's not that you're being asked to do something bad or like overly challenging. But I feel like the messages are coming in a way where you're being pushed out into the open. And some of you don't want to do that. Some of you, maybe you've been around for a while and you feel like you're in your later days or later times and you just kind of want to have a nice little chill, quiet life and mind your own business and be in your comfortable little shadows, and you're being pushed out into the forefront. You're being pushed out into the public eye. And you're like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to be in my little corner here. I want to mind my own business. So it might be scary or terrifying for some of you in this way, right? Like when God appeared to Moses and said, you have to go talk to Pharaoh. And Moses was like, me? like I have a stuttering problem. You want me to go and you want me to like be your representative? You want me to speak to Pharaoh when I have a speech difficulty? Like, are you serious right now? Like, it could be something like that. I'm not telling you that Gabriel is going to tell you that you have to go speak in front of Congress, but you might have messages coming in where you're being pushed to do something that really scares you because it's putting you out there in the open, or it's drawing attention to you and you're not wanting to have attention drawn to you. But the Empress here, the Empress can't hide. Everybody knows the Empress, right? She can't hide. She's in a position where she is seen, but she's also loved, well received, respected, protected, and defended. So know, Scorpio, that you can expect the same. The next card that's coming up for Scorpio is the Ten of Swords. I'm trying to think who else got this. I want to say Aries got it. Gemini may have got it also. And there's one other card. Was it Aquarius? You'll have to let me know in the comments, those of you who watched your sun, your moon, your rising, the other signs that got this, because you might be dealing with those signs. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini or an Aquarius or Aries. Because if my memory serves me correctly, those are the signs that also got Ten of Swords. Or if you have those placements, this is something that maybe is getting kind of emphasized for you. I know the Ten of Swords seems very scary. There's a dude laying down, face down. He's got 10 swords in his back. It doesn't look happy, right? Like, if you don't know anything about tarot and you see the Ten of Swords, you're like, oh, I think this is bad news. But there's actually a very positive message with Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords lets us know karmic cycles and karmic contracts are done. They're done once and for all, and you're never going to have to repeat them again. Ten of Swords can also come up when we're entering a permanent sobriety. Okay? Scorpio, maybe you had some self-medicating habit or a way in which you were sabotaging yourself that you have yo-yoed with your whole life. Like, there's periods of time you did really great, but then you fell off the wagon, and then you did really great again, and then you fell off the wagon. Ten of Swords tells us that you're coming into a permanent sobriety. Like, this is it. You're actually going to have a handle on it. Whether it's sobriety from alcohol or substances or sugar or food or gambling or sex or whatever it might be, you are getting a handle on it, and you're not going to be repeating those cycles or those sabotaging self medicating behaviors. Some of you maybe have had a karmic cycle with a situation where you kept getting pulled back in. You would leave and you would get pulled back in, whether it's a job or a living situation or a relationship. You leave and they convince you to go back. Ten of Swords is telling us this is it. It's done. You're not going back. You're not going back this time. Okay? And so you're free and clear. And this can be bittersweet, because a lot of the times I see the Ten of Swords come up around a situation where once upon a time this was a dream come true. This was an answer to your prayers, but then you outgrew it. And now it's painful to stay in the situation, right? It's like when you're a kid and you might have a pair of shoes that you absolutely love, but then you grow, you outgrow them, and you try to fight it. You keep trying to squeeze your cute little feet in those shoes, but it's excruciating. It's painful. They don't fit. Sooner or later, you got to give it up. These shoes don't fit anymore. And this is where you are with a current situation in your life. You have to move on. You have to stop playing small. You can't play small anymore. You can't hide anymore, right? You're like a fish and you're outgrowing your bowl. It's time for you to go in a bigger bowl. You have to. You're growing. You're growing, and you just have to accept that. The next card that's coming up here for Scorpio is the Ten of Cups. And I know a lot of people are used to watching tarot for love and romance. So the Ten of Cups is typecast as marriage and babies. And that can be the case for some of you, especially with Little Miss Empress here. Some of you might absolutely be manifesting marriage and babies here with this Empress and this Ten of Cups. This could be happening for some of you. And whatever the block was that was getting in the way, it's done. It's gone. You don't have to deal with that block anymore. Now, I want to say something about the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups has a much deeper meaning. And the Ten of Cups is about inner peace and fulfillment and contentment in every area and every aspect of your life. And once upon a time, back in the olden days, marriage was the goal, right? Because that's how people survived. That's how people had stability. That's how people had abundance. They had to get married, so they had a partner that they could fight against the world with, and they had to have babies so that those kids could, plant seeds and farm the land and grow food, and everybody could eat and be fed and build shelter, safety in numbers. It was crucial for survival. And that's why Ten of Cups is seen as marriage and babies, because that's how you got by in the world. That's how you took care of yourself. That's how you made things happen. Now, these days, marriage and babies aren't so crucial for survival. So Ten of Cups is going to be whatever your happily ever after is. Whatever happily ever after looks like for you. For some of you, it might be marriage and babies. For some of you, it might be, being able to retire early and go live somewhere off grid. For some of you, it might be traveling. For some of you, it might be making some kind of spiritual pilgrimage of some kind, or having time to focus in like your past life regression stuff or spirituality or whatever it might be. But 10 of Cups tells us whatever your happily ever after is, whatever your bliss is, things are happening this week that are aligning you with it. And you're actually seeing it take shape. You're seeing it come together. You're seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. 10 of Cups is happiness and fulfillment in every area of your life. So if you've been a Scorpio where you've had challenges where, say, when money was really great, personal life was terrible. When personal life was really great, money was terrible. Or, some other area of your life suffered. And maybe you had this mentality of, well, I guess you can't have it all. 10 of Cups is saying, guess again, Scorpio. You can have it all and you will have it all. You will have happiness and fulfillment in every aspect of your life. Maybe some of you have been on a spiritual path for quite some time, and you thought that because of the spiritual path, you had to sacrifice personal relationships. You had to sacrifice romance or marriage or living with somebody or having a family. And Spirit is saying, guess again. No, you don't. Because you're finding the right situation and the right person. Even if they're not a spiritual person, they're going to be okay with you doing your thing. They're not going to give you a hard time about it. So whatever it is that you thought you had to give up, or whatever it is that you thought was in the way, 10 of Cups is saying you can have it all. You can be happy in every aspect of your life. You can have your happily ever after. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you click on the link in the description of this video, it will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. Love and romance readings for March are also linked in the description of the video. And every single day I'm doing a card of the day. So check out the daily messages, those of you who are interested. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have an amazing week, Scorpio. And I hope that I'll see you all in the daily comments as well. Take care and be well.